It's a weekday. Because I receive call back voicemails to the messages I leave for business type people on the weekend when their offices are closed, and I don't realize it. I hear from them today. So Monday, February 11th, 2013, 6:17 p.m. And yeah, I've just woken up again. My routine seems to be awake in the morning and then up and then crash early afternoon for about 2.5, 3 hours. Cat wants to be fed, but he has to wait a few minutes. I look like crap. I feel like crap. Well, the nightmare I had was certainly interesting. I don't remember enough of it now. Like, it's been half hour or so since I've been awake, so a lot of it's gotten away from me. I know I'm part of it. I was walking along the water, the shore of the beaches in Toronto. But it was clear, much more clear. But there was some horror, there's always some horror adventure aspect, horror action thing going on, getting away kind of thing. And I actually had my lion cat with me. He was like in a pocket of some clothing I had. Other stuff happened. Again, I can't. And I was worried about him eating, which is funny because he's bugging me to eat now, and I'm like, whatever, shut up, cat, I'll feed you later. Though he is quite a big cat, he's fine. It's like worrying about me eating. So, I'm very protective of him, and we've clearly been together quite a while. My clothes are worn down, and I get somewhere. It's like a park, like one of those Yellowstone parks or something. You know, one of those not Yellowstone, Yogi, but, you know, one of those theme parks where it's supposed to be based on some cartoon characters or something, and they have their cabins, and there's always some jerk that's running it. Some family jerk with his family living there. That's not how it is in real life, but in my dream. Anyway, I'm there, and I'm like, yeah, I'd just been walking, and, we're hungry and thirsty, we need water, how far am I away from, you know, can I use a phone, etc. And they're like, you're just near whatchamacallit, and I've not heard of the place. It turns out I'm far away, like a country or countries away. Like if I was to have walked along a coastline from one country to another, as though I'd been walking for ever and ever and ever. How did I go such a distance? How did I not die? My fat, right? Lived off my fat, I guess, but still, even so. My cat. How did my cat or whatever this animal was with me? I wasn't quite sure anymore. Because then it turned into some other kind of creature, and I give it water, and it regenerated enough, like it grew as though it was being fed and was fine. But I don't know, that's a weird thing anyway. And then the dream turns into other people wanting to go on this fabulous diet plan, where basically it's well, what we do is we walk and we don't eat, and we just keep moving, we travel, and as far as our clothes, we just wear them till they wear off, and we just keep going. So strange, and I'm sure it was influenced by what I've been doing earlier. Except I became lucid near the end of the dream, so I'm making jokes and really trying to figure out the best of the situation, especially with all these people wanting to join in on the supposed great diet adventure. Meanwhile, it had clearly been an ordeal for me, and I was really upset as to how I got so far away from where I thought I was or was going. And yeah, that clearly sounds like life. Tasting blood. Sorry. What my dining room table looks like. I have a policy enacted in this household where the dining room table stays clear. No leaving bills on it or letters or anything. Nothing goes on the dining room table. I mean, eventually I wouldn't mind I wouldn't even put flowers on the table because of the fact that the cats would maybe jump up there. I don't like the cats being on the table, but obviously they're cats and they might go up there, but the table gets wiped down before use, so it's not just, I don't believe in cluttering a dining room table. I like it being used for eating, and yes, I have set my netbook on it a couple times and typed, but I always take it away, and we've played board games on it, and it's for that. It's for being used in a good way. It's not for accumulating garbage. I'd rather, if we're not using it, that it sits there perfectly wooden and clear than covered in shit. Not literal shit. You know what I mean? I just equate it to being trashy, says a girl wearing a nightgown with a cluttered background, but, and hasn't brushed hair. Well, again, I'm not gonna brush it a zillion times a day. Anyway, the table right now, though, although it is neatly stacked, it wasn't. At one point, it was covered in various piles of paper as I organized one package of documentation relating to the claim. The hearing tribunal appeals fiasco is in less than 2 weeks. And I wrote this inspired bit of prose yesterday. For my 750 words, I just wrote about, basically I wrote about how I had plans that even though I'm not going to win the claim, that I will put together my own, the actual timeline, because they get dates wrong all the time in documentation and different things, and they've done all their reports on me, and they've made their decisions and whatever. I want to compile with their documentation, combine it with my documentation, because I received some stuff, and correlate it with actual diary entries from the time periods, to not be just sitting there as a near 35-year-old woman who's been in appeal since 2007, but was taken out of the factory in 2005. Prior to that, removed from the factory in 2000, but returned. And prior to that, originally injured in 1998 or so. No. I want to talk. I want the 20-something-year-old that they knew was injured. I want that person to have a voice, to be heard. The one that, the me that didn't get so fucked up. The me, as I believe I wrote about it, I said something like, the one who believed in justice and in the system, or something, I don't know. I wrote it like, maybe I should include the link. You can read it. It's quite inspired. But when you get to the reality of it, going through all the years of documentation, it's overwhelming and soul crushing. It I nearly went catatonic. I mean, what a waste of it's sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. And I'm gonna lose. And that's not negative thinking. It's having read up on some other stuff. I mean, these guys, they never intended for me to... I look at some of the... This also gets me. I look at some of the reports. I just glance at some of the reports that they've done over the years. The biggest one that will be hard to look over again is the last appeal decision, where I tell you, this person got paid a pretty penny because they managed to dispute facts from the original claim, because this is a secondary claim we're fighting for. And they, oh my gosh, when you read stuff like that, when you read yeah, I'm sorry. See, and I sound like this, so that'd be all the more reason why I should at the very least, have prepared beside me, the dates and notes and what memos I can refer to, have them beside me. And then, like I said, if I can pull out some diary entries, it's not going to sway their opinion. I'm not going to win the claim. They already have their mind made up. I bet you they have the notice already half written. They're just going through the motions. But I need to say something. I need to speak up for 22-year-old me, at the very least. 22. Let's say they got me out at 22. I've got these notices where they're part of my file, either in the no access section where it's not to be shown to the employer, or there's some memos that made their way in there, internal memos that I've already been told that my caseworker or office worker advisor could never use in any of these these appeals. Basically, they say we fucked up. We should have removed her from the factory upon initial confirmation of injury in 2000. We didn't. It's 2005. We owe it to this girl. We should, put her into retraining. And they didn't. And there's ownership. They've never put it in other types of writing. Oops, we messed up. But those internal things stated. And that meant something to me. At one point, I thought, when I read that, when I noticed that the first time I ever requested my file, I was like, I'm gonna win this, because they even admit they screwed up. So clearly, hello, right? I mean, if I was, if I was a criminal and admitted to it in writing, I mean, clearly, right? No? But, so yeah, I'm not 20-something anymore. I'm not. I'm 30-something. Still young, but not as young. And, I'm wanting to, just put this behind me. But I do have to, at least try to say something before the end of it. I still think that getting the paperwork organized is a good idea anyway, because I do think I will put out a self-published zine book thing, very cheaply photocopied thing, but of documents with blacked out names so I don't get sued, but or whatever, if they can ironically do that. But yeah, I am gonna do that eventually, but just the energy it takes for me to try and organize piles of paper, from medical forms to memorandum to correspondence to assessment reports, is draining. I can't be like, I want my life back, because this is my life. This is my life. And I said at the table, I said, I've actually done alright, considering. I mean, I may not be able to do the things that they have written that I should be able to do, or that some people in society might think that I could do, which I can't. But I have managed to still have a life throughout this time period somehow. I mean, it's been highly reclusive often, and it's made its impact medically on me, and otherwise, in many ways. But I have carried forward, and I have interests, and I try. It's kind of one of these things. I mean, yay, I get to go visit Toronto, because I miss it so much. I really do. But it's like, oh yay, I get to go through a day-long exhausting hearing. I mean, the paperwork exhausted me. Me just trying to start sorting it out. Actually going through and reading it to make my own notes is going to just... This is when I wish... I don't wish. The person that was here today with me said Like, it's surprising you don't do drugs or drink or anything like that. You know, like, many people would be driven to that, and it could be totally understood why. I mean, yeah, I even thought, if I was able to numb myself, wow, you know, I could probably be doing so much better right now. That sounds horrible. But it's very difficult to do this. And I'm leaving it to the last minute probably because it's doing this to me. It is tearing me apart. It is shredding me. As I wrote in that entry yesterday. All for something that, at least I'll have seen it to the end. And, this better be the end. When I read that somebody's had 6 to 8 appeals over the span of 16 years, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to move on. But I also want to, see it through. I want to see it through. I have to. I've been through so much. I've had so much happen. How could I not? So, I will turn this off and I will go feed the cat. And I will try to snap out of it. Nope, not on drugs, not drinking, but yeah, my medication. Gosh, good thing I'm back on it, actually. I was really, really not doing well without it. Now, yeah, I may have spacing outs, but especially if I were to have taken out that paperwork, I'd be freaking out really badly right now. At least, the worst harm is that I go to bed and I am knocked out and dreaming. We can deal with that, but I wanted the right thing to be done. At the beginning, it was never about money, because I'd already lost too much, and even if they had compensated me at the beginning, they could not have compensated me for everything, because I had so much lost time that was not counted as part of my injury because of ignorance on my part as a teenager, for God's sake, and on the part of either deliberately or on purpose by the company and the union. And so I had already lost quite a lot. So it's not been necessarily financially, although of course, if I won financially, yeah, hello, it'd be nice to be reinstated on and compensated. But it's been about the fact that I didn't do anything wrong. I was affected by the injury and the consequences of procedure not being done that would have could have saved me in many ways. A lot of actual pain and illness. And I really wanted to see the right thing done. I thought that these things were in place so that the right thing would be done. It took a long time for me to realize, oh, you know, it's a company and they make money and they don't make as much money if they pay money to the injured workers, but they can pay money to their CEOs, more money, if they don't pay money to the injured workers. So the formula there is don't compensate the injured workers, and then they have more money. I just didn't think that. So naive. So naive. I'm still naive because there's probably bottle cap left in me. A water bottle, evil plastic water bottle cap left, full of hope. This much full of hope, probably in me, inside me, in my heart or in my head, that thinks somebody will go, oh yeah, the good and right thing. Let's give that a try. The bottle cap will destroy you. That bit of hope. I'm kidding. I just thought that to be kind of emo-ish. Really, no. It doesn't. I mean, it's probably good that I still believe in people, even if they're gonna let me down. Well, if you manage to listen to and or watch a half hour of my pasty emo self, I'm sorry. I'll get going, and I got stuff to do. I have stuff to do. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Now I see why I need to take notes.